down to the river to pray, worrying about that good old way. And who shall wear the robe and crown? Good Lord, show me the way. Oh, sinners, let's go down, come on round. Oh, sinners, let's go down in the river to pray. I like the concept of rivers, washing away sin, carrying it down. I like the idea of the world as a river you can never step in twice. It's always different. But I'm Minnesotan now. I no longer live in the state of evergreen trees, tall mountains, orca whales, and water. Or at least not moving water. Most of the water I get now is frozen and cold. And in the months that we live in now, it's hard to imagine water moving and bubbling, laughing and changing. Because the only water we have right now is deadly. It's cold. It's hard, it's unforgiving, and every year when it reappears, I hate it. I just feel my insides turning against it in revulsion. Just, oh Jesus, this again? I'm bald and I live in a state where it gets down to negative 35 with wind chill. The fuck was I thinking? I go down in the river to pray, worrying about that good old way. When I first moved to Minnesota, I packed up a minivan from Seattle as full as it could possibly go, and I drove it across the state to the desert half of Washington, across a little bit of Idaho that was almost not worth mentioning, and then across the eternity behind a semi-truck that was Montana. Leaving Montana, I hit the Dakotas, and the most amazing sight greeted me. I moved here in February of 1999. And I remember, once I got out from behind the semi-truck, being astounded at the way that the snow blowing across the hills from the north to the south eddied and pooled like rivers moving across. And you could see where hills off to the north had pushed the wind into the funnel just like a river, and it would drive the snow, and you could actually feel the car jar in silence as you drove across the Dakotas. It was like being inside of rivers of air and ice. I went down in the river to pray, studying about that good old way. And who shall wear a robe and crown? Good Lord, show me the way. Never been particularly drawn to any of the monotheistic religions. There's something about perfection that itches at me wrong. I dislike the concept, and the idea, the problem of evil has never sat well with me. So I sometimes look to the other religions where gods fought amongst each other, petty, spiteful things. Not because a soap opera of gods was somehow more comforting, but it felt more real. So, I'm done with the river. I'm done with your sin washing away the roads, because right now in the world that I live in, I'm stuck with petty gods. This winter that we've lived through since the first news of COVID existed has just torn at my soul. Whether the weather is warm outside or cold outside, it is as if I am frozen in a river and I can't get out. There's no washing away the sins. It seems as if every month something new comes up and it gets worse and worse and worse. It's been a year now after Trump, and I still can't get the thoughts of it out of my mind because nothing has fucking changed. We are frozen in a river, and all I can see is come spring, will it get worse? Will all the sins that are backed up upriver come down and wash me away? Am I just here watching inevitably? Frozen, staring towards the doom that comes? So fuck your monotheistic religions. I want a petty God right now. I want a God of snow and ice and the wind that bites like 1,000 little teeth when you're waiting for the bus, where it seems as if you will never get warm. Because the first year that I moved here, I discovered the most amazing secret. That getting out in this weather, in this shit weather that we have, when it's frozen and cold and you slap on some ice skates and you're like, it is too fucking cold to ice skate. And suddenly it isn't. It's okay. It hurts. Your cheeks burn, your nose burns, your lung burns, everything burns. How can you burn when everything is in the negatives? But being Minnesotan teaches you something about this. The endurance of the petty, spiteful gods of winter. And right now, I need that. I need to make little snowman idols, put up frozen candles in their little shrines and say, I think all I want to do right now is think the darkest, meanest, winterest thoughts in the hopes that burning these inside of me, little guttering candles in the darkness of my heart, will carry me through to the winter. There's a local performance artist named Guante who talks about this. He says, hope in the face of the despair that we're feeling right now, the despair that is being peddled to us by those who want to keep us sad and broken, is a discipline. You just have to keep moving, one foot in front of the other. Put the ice skates on and skate. And it will burn. Your cheeks, your lungs, your heart, everything will burn. But you keep going forward because that is how you win against this despair. So to the petty gods of winter, I'm yours for right now. And when spring comes around, with your help, maybe I'll be a little more willing to wash some of these sins away if the stream water looks clear. I went down the river to pray, worrying about that good old way, and shall wear a thorny crown, good Lord, show me the way. Oh, brothers, let's go down. Come on down, won't you wanna come down? Come on,